Congratulations on deciding to train your dog. Having a basic grasp of dog psychology is tremendously helpful for your success. Now, our primary goal is to teach our dog to walk on leash without pulling, to respond to various commands without unnecessary repetition, and other unwanted behaviors. Our program uniquely blends 6 exercises, namely the agreement, the watch me, control walk, the casual walk, the come or the recall, and the sit, stand, down exercise. The most common commands are sit, stay, come, and down. In our program, we will also use the commands let's go, relax, back, and no. Dog owners find themselves having to manage a series of behavioral issues, including unwanted aggression and other challenging behaviors like nipping, biting, chewing, excess barking, object guarding. Our specialized training routine has been organized into 6 short reward-based exercises designed to make your training life easy and effective. Now, we recognize that many dog owners don't have the extra time available in their busy schedules to provide all of the energy-burning activities that meet their dog's needs. This is a common challenge, and it's our opinion that domesticated dogs living in urban environments are generally underserved when compared to dogs living in farms or large yards with significant spacing, and a active lifestyle. Now, to meet your dog's needs and to better blend our world and theirs, we suggest that you use every interaction as a training moment for you and your dog. Take, for instance, all dog owners have time set aside for feeding, bowel movements, and play. That is, play is casual time. Now, these are the most convenient times that should be used to achieve your obedience training goals. This approach can be used at any stage of training, from beginner to advanced dogs. Having a brief understanding of dog domestication will give us a better understanding of how our dogs work and think to modify their behavior to our liking and to provide for their needs as best as we can. So the earliest human-dog relationships, known as domestication, appear as early as 16,500 years ago, up until about 12,000 BC. They happen separately in Africa, India, and Eurasia. And no matter what breed, there are several major dog groups, and most dogs will be classified into one or more mixture of these. So those are working dogs, herding, hound, sporting, non-sporting, terrier, and toy dogs. I know you've heard of dogs having drives, but the question is, exactly what is a drive? Well, a drive is an internal mechanism that pushes the dog into taking action. All dogs have certain basic drives. The only real difference among dogs is a matter of degree. Think of each dog as being on a continuum. So the drives that we identify are activity, play, alpha, dominance, rank, avoidance, comfort, defense, exploring, fight, food, freedom, herding, hunt, prey, maternal or paternal, pack, sex, and subordinate. Next, we have nerves. Now, as with everything else, nerves are on a continuum. Their strength will vary across individual dogs. Some dogs will fall below a minimum standard, known as a weak nerve dog, showing avoidance or aggressive behaviors. This is in response to threatening people, situations, object, and this includes the shy dogs and fear-based biters. So temperament is similar to a human's personality. In biology, you have nature versus nurture. So of course, it's a function of genetics. It's inherited. It's not developed, but of course, it can be modified through environment and experience. So a dog's core temperament never changes. Some behaviors can be modified through training, but the temperament itself never changes. So you're going to have 1 to 3 daily sessions, 5 to 15 minutes each, before and after feeding, morning, noon, or in the evening. The commands that you're going to focus on are the agreement, watch me, the control walk, the casual walk, the come or the recall, and the stand, sit, down exercise. If you focus on those exercises, you're going to develop a really good dog that understands the basic obedience principles, and you can develop smoothly into off-leash training. In addition to those times in the day when you're feeding, you're also going to have random times in the day when you just have opportunity to practice. And we can expect that to be 3 to 4 flexible sessions a day, again for about 5 to 15 minutes. And that's going to be during the day, after work, before bedtime, some downtime that you're going to find throughout the day to flexibly schedule in your practice. And again, you're going to work on the agreement exercise, the watch me exercise, the control walk, the casual walk, the come, and the sit stand down exercise. There are 3 rules of thumb that we've come up with to assist you with your understanding your dog's behaviors and to get the best out of them and to avoid mixed signals. So rule of thumb number 1, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. When training, do not take the leash off until your dog comes 100% of the time, pretty much. Of course, it's not going to be 100%, but you want to get to as close to that as possible. And your dog is going to show that to you because you practice it the same way each time. You're going to use a treat, a leash, and you're going to get your dog's attention when giving the commands to come or let's go. And what's most important here is to get low or lower your stature to the ground so you can encourage them to really want to come over. Rule number 2. Now in general, you have some commands that you're going to repeat and some commands that you don't want to repeat. So moving commands are ones that you're going to end up repeating, such as heel or let's go. The come command is right in the middle there. You are asking your dog to move, but that's one of the commands that we're not going to be repeating. The other commands that we won't be repeating are going to be stay, sit, and down. Those commands you're going to say once, and then you're going to have a process to help your dog follow through, because of course most beginner dogs are not just automatically going to do it. And if they do, they're not going to be consistent all the time. All right, rule of thumb number 3. This ties in with what I just explained. Of course, when they don't do it, have a plan, have a strategy. And that strategy is to employ rule of thumb number 3, which is always be willing to go back to basics and utilize the techniques that you did as a beginner, even with more advanced dogs, to kind of bring them back up to speed and help them redirect their attention when they get distracted. And that's going to be a really good tool for you to keep in your mind so you don't take it personal and you just revert back to the techniques that work. So our recommendation is that you use a 6 to 10 foot training leash as well as a training collar. You can pick up a training collar at your local pet store and they'll give you the options available. They're different types, whichever one you find best suits your needs. And you're going to use a high value treat. A high value treat is one that your dog can't resist, meaning they're willing to look at you the whole time until you give it to them. A low value treat is one where I'll take it, but I can come back to it later. All right, so meat tends to be a high value treat for our dogs, and processed treat tends to be low value. And you're also going to want to find a favorite toy that you're going to be able to provide for them at times when you train, and then remove it from them at times so that they're excited to get it again. A muzzle for some of us, because some dogs are going to be nipping and biting. And then you're going to have a crate for some of our dogs that are going to need potty training. And you're also going to have a yard enclosure, so you don't want them to be roaming in the neighborhood, and that gives you the opportunity to allow your dog to have the freedom and burn the energy they need and feel safe. And for some of us that don't have yard enclosures, you're going to want to figure out a safe and humane way to have your dog tied out on a tie out for just a brief while so that they can at least burn the energy and run freely. So I want to thank you for tuning into this video, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. My phone contact is area code 242-818-9731. And my email is stubsdale@gmail.com. stubsdale@gmail.com. Thanks a lot. All the best.